What's happening? Welcome back to another video. Sorry it's been a while. I've been quite sick, if you can't tell in my voice. Pretty much the premise of this video is the fact that I can guarantee you 30k per month when you implement this. So these are the exact things that you need to scale to 30k per month. People think that they can scale to this number with just themselves. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. If you are afraid to give up a piece of the pie in order to scale, then you're not a business owner and you won't be a business owner unless you feel free to give up a piece of the pie. Without that, you can't scale. This diagram explains it perfectly. So here we have a 30k per month coaching business. Now there's three things that go into this: content, operation, and labor. Now with these three things, if they're run properly, then you'll have a 30k per month business easy. These are the three components that go into making a good business in general, not just a 30k per month business, even a million a month business. These three things are super important. Now for content, you have YouTube, which is long form content. You need to use long form content. If you don't have a YouTube, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You need to take advantage of this site that's making people 7-figure businesses. Take advantage of it. I have an entire YouTube funnel video. Go back and watch that if you need any help with it. But you need to take advantage of YouTube. You need at least 20 hours of content that people can watch for free. And this is where you want to give the most value possible to your audience so that they can really get a grasp on what you actually do and a grasp on your knowledge. And you can also help them grow. YouTube's super important, along with Instagram, daily activities on Instagram. You need to build these daily activities to build leverage. Instagram, again, super important. We need to engage our prospects. We need to nurture our prospects, and YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook and Instagram groups are what do that. Daily activities on Instagram. Make sure that you're keeping up to date with it. Make sure that the prospect's staying in the loop. Facebook/Instagram groups. Now, originally this was just Facebook groups. This is for value posts. But I added Instagram groups in there purely because Instagram's becoming a bit more of the usual platform and Facebook is dying down a little bit. So in these groups, you want this for people that are interested, people that want to buy your product but maybe can't at the moment, or they want to buy your product but they don't quite trust you yet. Now, in these groups is where you share even more value. Just keep sharing that value so that the prospect begins to trust you. Instagram, going back up the chart, Instagram, share your case studies. Trust, build trust, build it. It will help you sell. It won't help you sell, it will sell. It will do the selling. Trust will do the selling for you. So Instagram, share your case studies, build that trust. YouTube, long form content, build that trust. Facebook and Instagram groups, share the value in there. Share value posts for people that are interested. These are all high intent people. They're all high intent people in these groups. So share the posts, they'll ask questions, jump on a call with them, sell them. That's how it works. That is the content arm of the 30k per month coaching business. That is what you need to do for content in order to scale to 30k per month. Labor, virtual assistants. Now, labor and content work hand in hand. So with the virtual assistants and the appointment setters, this is what generates attention. This is what generates attention. I spoke about this in one of my last videos. So you need the virtual assistants and you need the appointment setters to generate that attention. But if you aren't converting that attention, what's the point? This is why we need the content to convert the attention. Let's say your virtual assistant is doing 200 outreaches a day along with your appointment setter. Now, 200 outreaches a day, going to your YouTube, going to your Instagram, if these are leveraged correctly and these are made to look professional and these are made to express value and to build trust, then all of those people that have been reached out to are going to gain trust with your product and gain trust with who you are. And they're going to join the IG group and they're going to ask questions, and they're going to convert. They will become a client. So the labor needs to be dialed in to move all that attention to the content arm. The content arm is super important. So with the virtual assistants and the outreach and the appointment setters having the combos, you need to reward these guys on a commission-based salary. Now, content manager might be a bit more difficult. You might have to maybe pay them $1,000, maybe 1.5K per month, because you would struggle to find someone on a commission base there. But with the virtual assistant and the appointment setters, give up a piece of the pie. Don't be fucking greedy. Do not be greedy. If the virtual assistant made you 5K that month through outreach, give them 1K. Give them 1.5K. Give a piece of that pie. Don't be greedy. If the appointment setters made you 15K through combos, give them 3K. Give them 5K. Take care of your team. You can't be greedy. You need to take care. You need to give up a piece of the pie in order to scale your business to new heights. Now, for the operation, all that you need to scale to 30K per month is Calendly, Zoom, Google Calendar, Discord, and ignore that. That's meant to say Loom. So Loom for SOPs as what I'm recording now. So that's fucking simple. This will cost you maybe $50, $25 a month, all for the operation arm. That will cost you $50 a month, max, complete max. So once all of these are dialed in, you have a 30K per month coaching business. Just remember to dial in your content, dial in your YouTube. Super important. Daily activities on Instagram, Facebook, IG groups. Labor. Have a virtual assistant. If you are making 5 to 10K per month and you do not have at least 2 virtual assistants working for you, then what the fuck are you doing? You're doing something wrong. Same with an appointment setter. You need an appointment setter working for you if you're making 10K per month. These are the things that are going to take you to that next level that people don't know. If you try to do everything on your own, you're not going to get anywhere. Stop being greedy. Hand out pieces of the pie. You need to do that in order to scale to new numbers. So just as an overview for that, content. Get your YouTube going, post daily. Instagram, daily activities, make sure you're active. Facebook and IG groups. Make sure you're putting value posts in there so that you warm up prospects. That's what it's used for. Operation, get all these things for your operation. That should say Loom, so make sure that's Loom instead. For your SOPs, for your content, make sure that you get Loom. Discord for your communication, to speak to the virtual assistants, the appointment setters. You can use Slack or WhatsApp or whatever you choose there. Just make sure that you do have a communication program where your virtual assistants and your appointment setters and your content managers can easily reach you. Google Calendar so that you can stay up to date and you can stay perfectly laid out and you can split up your day how you need to. Zoom to take the video calls that the appointment setters set, and Calendly so that you can schedule your appointments, and that's where the appointment setters can book them. Now, hire a virtual assistant, hire an appointment setter, hire a content manager as soon as you can. Now, hire 2 virtual assistants, then pay these 2 on a commission base. Like I said earlier, the virtual assistants will do the outreach for you. The appointment setters will book in the calls for you and get the content manager. Even you can use a virtual assistant as a content manager if you find a good virtual assistant, which I'm going to show you down here in a second how you can do that. Then you can use your virtual assistant to manage your content, teach them how to schedule, teach them how to edit slightly. Just make sure that you pay them 1,000 to 1.5K per month. And these 2 are both on a commission based. So to increase the hiring success rate, we need to focus on these 3 things. Now, this is a super important process in your business, is hiring. You need to be able to understand how to hire A players in your business so that you're not wasting your time and you're not wasting your money. Those are 2 of the most important things in your business, is your time and your money. We want to be able to delegate specific tasks to certain team members, and to do that and to be able to trust them, we need to know that we've hired the best people that we possibly can. So compensation. Now, to increase the hiring success rate, we need to give them adequate compensation. Don't be afraid to give up the piece of the pie. Again, that is that phrase. We need to be able to share some of our profits in order to grow. Now, let's say you're making 5k per month. What's stopping you from giving away 1.5k to a VA who's going to scale your business to 10, 15k? This is what most business owners do, that they need to stop. Stop being greedy. Stop not hiring because you don't think that you make enough money. If you want to scale your business, you need to give away a piece of the pie. If you're making 5k a month, give 1.5k away to a VA or two who are going to scale your business. Now, being crystal clear about what you need and what to expect as well. So let's say I'm posting an ad to hire a VA on Upwork or something like that. Now, you need to be absolutely crystal clear about what you need and what they should expect, and also what you expect. Now, being crystal clear about what you need, let's start with that. So we need to make sure that they have the right availability. We need to make sure that they are in the right time zone. And we need to make sure that they have the right physical requirements as well. For example, can they speak high-level English? If that is who you're targeting, are you targeting an English audience? We need to make sure that they can speak that high-level English. Things like these are things that people miss, and then that makes the hiring success rate shit. So be clear about what you need and what to expect. Now, if you post an ad and it's commission based and it says that the VA is going to be making between 5k to 10k, and then they end up making $500. That's what I mean about being clear on what to expect. Now, making 5 to 10k per month is great for a VA. You can't tell them that they're going to make that if they're not. You need to set the standard to something that they're going to get. Because if you promise 5 to 10k per month and they get $500, they aren't going to be happy. And then that is going to call for bad attitude and a shit VA. So with that being said, moving on to their attitude. Now, again, super important. Do they want to scale your business? Do they want to help you? Now, again, this comes with compensation. If you compensate them fairly, then their attitude is going to be better. If you're clear about what you need and what they should expect, and they get what they should expect, then their attitude is going to be better. But it's a super important process in making sure that they are hardworking, that they've got results in the past, that their attitude is dialed, and they do actually want to invest in building this business and invest in your journey as a business owner and invest in the company's journey as a growing company. Now, their attitude is super important. Again, requirements. Now, make sure that they have the right availability, time zone, physical requirements, etc. Now, these are the pipeline values for the VA and for the setter. Now, let's start with the VA. So you need to make sure that the daily KPIs for your VA is 200 outreaches. Make sure they're getting 200 outreaches every day. This is to build that attention. This is to build the attention from the labor. The labor builds the attention to put them into the content arm of the diagram. Build the attention, get them into the YouTube, get them into the groups, get them into the Instagram. You need to build that attention with the outreaches. 100 follow-ups. Now, if people have answered and they've been left on read or been left on delivered, follow up with them. Again, that's a VA's job. And an end of the day report, which is quite standard as well. Now, the pipeline value of a setter. Daily KPIs for the setter. 5 booked calls. A setter's job is to book the calls. You should have the traffic coming in from the VA. The VA brings the traffic in. The YouTube brings the traffic in. The Instagram builds the traffic. Now, the setter doesn't have to worry about the traffic. Tell the setter, fuck the traffic. Book the calls. 5 calls booked in for the setter, KPI, daily. And grow the profile to 5k followers in 60 days. If they can do that, they get a bonus. These are the little things that really make a good setter and make good VAs. Now, using little things like this, as in little bonuses and goals such as grow the profile to 5k followers in 60 days, really allows the setter to work hard. Because if you're going to pay him 3k, 4k to do something in 60 days, that's like double his fucking salary. Grow the profile to 5k followers in 60 days. Once the setter sees this, it excites him. And it really, like I was speaking about earlier, it really brings him in on the journey. He wants to do this for you. He wants to do this so that he can get that bonus. He really wants to grow the profile. Now, without these things, the setter isn't as driven to grow. And he isn't as driven to book calls. Give away little bonuses. Throw in a piece of the pie. Throw in a piece of the pie. And you really need to help them understand what they need to do to accomplish your goals. Now, at the end of the day, that is a VA and a setter's goal, and a content manager as well, even though they're not in this diagram. That is the goal of labor within your business, is to accomplish your goals. Now, that's why you need to help them understand what they need to do to accomplish those goals. It's super important. Like, VAs and setters, they aren't going to be able to fucking grow your business if you don't tell them what they need to do to accomplish what you're trying to get. Communication's so important. That's why we need an end of the day report, and there should be an end of the day report here as well. Every fucking day. Every day. So that you can keep an eye on what they're doing, keep an eye on if they're working hard, how many outreaches they've done, how many follow-ups they've done, how many calls they've booked, end of day reports. And then you can just look at it every day and see that VA is performing, that VA is not, that setter's performing. Perfect. We need to change this setter. We need to change this VA. We need to do this, do that. It's all about keeping an eye, giving clear and concise goals. It's about compensation, being clear, making sure their attitude's dialed in. That is how to hire VAs and how to make sure that they are going to work extremely hard within your business. Now, accountability. You need to make sure that you take accountability for shit setters. If you have a shit VA and a shit setter, then it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's your fault for not teaching them properly and for not keeping an eye properly and for not doing these three things. If the setter's not doing what you want and not doing what you need, then you haven't been clear about what you need and expect. If they're not working as hard, then you haven't found their attitudes enough, or you're not compensating them enough for what they're doing. If you're getting paid $300 to do something and it's taking you 4 or 5 hours a day, then you're going to think, fuck this, I'm not doing that, because you're not being compensated fairly. And if you are compensating them fairly, then that's an attitude problem. So you need to make sure that these things are completely dialed in within the hiring process. You need to make sure that these requirements are completely dialed in, and you need to be clear about KPIs and what they need to do to accomplish your goals. So accountability for the first 7 to 14 days, 1 to 2 weeks, just have daily calls with your setters and with your VAs, daily calls to make sure that they understand what they're doing. Any questions they have, they can ask you. Any questions you have, you can ask them. Any ideas that they have, any ideas that you have, anything that you need to tell them for them to perform better, daily calls will do it. And also keep an end of the day report going, just so that you can see sort of how much they're doing and what results they're getting, and then you can speak about that on the calls. Then after the 7 to 14 days, I would recommend 14 days, especially if it's a VA, definitely 14 days. If it's a setter with some experience, then 7 days will be fine. So after that time period, have 4 calls a week. So you can drop the calls down slightly, but I'd still recommend about 4 calls a week, and an end of the day report. Always do an end of the day report. So again, you can speak about that on the calls, and you can go through what they need to do and what they have done that's good. So 4 times a week call. Don't have to be super long calls if there's nothing much to talk about. Just make sure that you're staying in contact. And yeah, that is how you hire a good VA and a good setter, and that's how you increase the success rate of a hire. And now you can make a 30K per month coaching business if you follow these arms. Follow what I've told you here, and you'll have a 30K per month coaching business. Now, I've explained this arm even more, how you can do that. I've explained this arm in some of my past videos. I've got an entire YouTube funnel video. Just make sure you go back and watch that one. If you have any questions at all, then give me a message on Instagram, or you can pop them in the comments. I'll always reply to my comments, or book in a call with me in the description. My Instagram's in the description as well. Have a look at my content, have a look at my client results. If you want to be a part of that, give me a message. We'll get you booked in for a call, and I can walk you through an entire game plan. So let's fucking grow. You see, even when I'm sick, I'm still dropping bangers for you guys. We need to lock in. You need to lock in. You need to give up a piece of the pie. Dial in your content, operations, and labor. Dial them in, and we'll fucking grow to 30K per month. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go take a bath because I'm super fucking tired. Yeah, lock in. Let me know how it goes. Any questions on my Instagram. Thanks. Bye-bye.